No way.
What's up?
What's going on, dude? Look at you getting out and about in this cold weather.
It's a little chilly outside. I'm not gonna lie. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound good. Yeah, you're a braver man than I will say this morning I thought about going on a run because I unfortunately have to train to run 10 miles. And
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. That was a dumb, slightly buzzed decision. I thought it was a 10K I was signing up for, which I've ran an 8K before. So it was like, 2 more kilometers. I probably could grind that out or train up to that very easily, But then like 10 miles, I was like, yo, that's like double the max of like I've ever run. So anyway.
10 miles is a doozy. That's a doozy.
Oh, for sure. I'm not looking forward to it, but I paid $100 to run it, so I'm gonna run it.
Get back out now, dude.
No.
So you could just try to get a refund and get yourself a Josh Allen jersey if you wanted to.
Dude, speaking of jerseys, for our YouTube viewers, I actually am wearing a new jersey right now. I didn't get a chance to wear it because obviously the Bills lost, which we're gonna get into, but I went ahead and got Matt Milano Color Rush jersey.
Yo, is that a looks like a not even is that a stitched one?
I think I don't know, dude.
I can't tell. It looked like the numbers were stitched.
Yeah, they're stitched.
Dude, Siri's yelling at me. Sorry.
Dude, Siri, shut the heck up. We're trying to pod over here.
Dude, we're trying to get a pod in over here.
God, we only got like 2 episodes left. Gotta make the most of it.
What God.
Fuck.
Good God. 2 episodes left, but we got plenty of stuff coming. We got some draft free agency.
I know. Well, something I was going to run by you.
Yeah,
with draft and free agency. I was thinking like if we did like rookie quarterback grades, towards the end, obviously looking down, past Super Bowl when we get into like way too early Super Bowl predictions, off-season predictions, biggest needs that we think for a team or whatever. But
we can do all that stuff.
Oh, for sure, dude. But,
whatever you want, dude. Whatever you want.
Dude, no, it's whatever we want. This is about us. This is about us, babe. All right.
This is our pod. This is our life. We do what we want. We do what we say. Got it?
Yes.
If you listening, you know what we about.
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very true. But yeah, dude, I actually had to hook up
buy stuff in here, baby.
Don't tell anyone. But this jersey it's not a real jersey. It's from China.
Dang it, Sean.
I mean, they all are. I know. I had to be real. Well, my girlfriend Morgan, her brother has a hookup. Shout out Bert. Haven't met him in person yet, but I think we FaceTimed for a hot second. So shout out for the jersey plug, But I wish after Josh Allen's performance, I wish I would have gotten the Josh Allen jersey. I'm like, watching him ball out, I was like, I messed up. I love Matt Milano, but Josh is just a different breed. He is just that fucking dude. Like, so that's an immediate must buy next paycheck. 100%.
I think you got to just go all in and get yourself like the official, like I'm talking about like the 150 or not even the 100. I'm talking like the 150 the stitched, the fitted, like the whole thing with it, man.
Bro, if I could even get it signed, like that'd be tough.
Send it to him. DM him on Twitter or something.
Dude, I probably would, dude. He's a nice guy. He'd probably make it happen, We'd probably become like best friends and we get him on pod like every week, like Aaron Rodgers on
that would be. We could do it just week after week. That would be awesome.
Dude, it'd be sick. That would be a dream. But anyway, we are on a limited time crunch. So let's go ahead and get it started. My name's Sean, and I am partially biased to those break your heart, we'll be here next year, Bills.
My name's Holden. I am partial to the Washington football team one last time.
One last time.
New name's
coming out.
New name next Wednesday, Groundhog's Day, 2/2/22. So this is it. I'm repping as much as I can. I mean, I'm going to rep it anyway. I kind of like the whole sleek look of it, so I'll keep repping it. But,
sure.
And this is partially biased.
The show with biased takes from biased fans, partially. So, dude, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, man. Dude, screw weekend plans. I'm assuming it's gonna be low key because of the weather.
Yep, got some snow out here. We got some home projects that I'm gonna deal with when I get home, and just hit Lowe's, just hit Home Goods. Nice. Had a little haul at both spots, so
we like a little haul. Dude, I swear Richmond got more snow than DC, and I'm not happy about it. I don't like that.
It wasn't much, dude. The roads are absolutely fine. Like, it's just we had the sprinkle, and you did have a nice little coat, but that was it. So yeah, we're staying inside for the most part. I'm obviously out here getting a little stroll in,
For sure.
making some time to make sure we got some chatty time. But
Yeah.
It's gonna be. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm just chilling. I've been having a low key weekend. Still getting settled in the new spot. The new spot is sick though.
I was gonna say though, because
it.
I thought you were at your old house because I saw the arch and I'm like, is he back at home? But I was like, no, I would have known. But then I forgot you moved into the new spot. So I was like, oh wait, is he home? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's like, oh, that guy didn't tell me he was in town. Dude, I totally would have. Nah, dude, it's funny. It is an old house. Like, I was talking to my mom and I was like FaceTiming her and she was like, dang, this might be older than my place. I'm like, yeah, I think so. But it's got good bones. It's a good spot. It's got everything I need. I'm lit about it. I'm happy about it. It's a good spot. So I'm just chilling, gonna chill with Morgan, see what's up. Maybe go to Virginia tomorrow so we can play some bets. I got her on a small betting kick. Small betting kick, Holden.
All right.
And it's like,
those are dangerous. Those are dangerous.
Oh, dude, it is. She had a company party out in Northern Virginia earlier this week. And she placed her own parlay, did her own research. It was a little college basketball parlay, and she won. She hit it.
Oh my God.
It wasn't huge, but I mean, it was still like she did it all on her own, and I was impressed. But at the same time, I'm thinking, what monster have I created?
Parlays, dude. Those things are bankroll boosters and bankroll destroyers at the same time. We'll say that. But if you can hit them, hey, maybe she's on. Look, maybe somebody like her who doesn't, she's just she's new to she got the fresh eyes and she's just like, I know what's happening. So
not really biased. Fresh eyes. No, I'm full on it.
Shoot, well, you got to tell me what next one she does so I can maybe tail that thing.
Dude, yeah, I'll send you the ones I did for this weekend because we went out for restaurant week and I think it was like DraftKings or something like that was doing a promo, do a single game parlay and reimburse you up to $25. So we were like, oh, let's just do a pretty likely one, $25, see if it hits. So I'm excited. Hopefully that hits. Might share that with you later. Share it with the viewers at home to follow. But I guess let's go ahead, get started. Quick recap of last week's games. It was all right. So tell me if I'm wrong. I think last weekend was probably the best weekend, like playoff weekend or just football weekend ever.
Absolutely. And it's funny, if you're a football fan, even whether you're a football fan or not, you watch these games, you loved it because if you weren't a football fan before, you are now because you just witnessed 4 amazing games with like a nightcapper on Sunday night of probably one of the better games I've ever watched. Yeah. Just in general. I mean, it was just insane. And I mean, as a football fan, you're like, they were all awesome. Like they were just all awesome.
Dude, all 1-score games. I can't remember the last time that ever happened. Like no blowouts yet.
All walk-offs.
So
they were just all walk-offs.
Yeah.
Every game was a walk-off, which is just like, what? You couldn't have asked for a better weekend of football.
No.
And especially when you're like me and there's really no stress involved.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I'm sure as a Bills fan, it's like you're watching all these games and you're like, they're all great, but you're still worrying about your game and just preparing for like that moment. But like as a fan where your team's out of it, you're like, this is just freaking awesome to watch some good football. So
dude, objectively, like you just get to sit down for like a few hours and you're not overwhelmed. It's not like a normal NFL Sunday where it's like, dang, I have like 8 games to get through or like more than that. It's like, okay, there's 4, they're all pretty much prime timers, and like even your typical non-football fans, they just know like, oh, Super Bowl's right around the corner, so I'm going to pay attention even if I haven't paid attention all year. So it was just good vibes had by all, and I think it's going to be tough for the NFL moving forward to top this, but I don't know, man. It just seems like such an offensive league. Like anytime you have a game with a lot of offense, a lot of people tune in, it seems.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, they couldn't have planned it. I mean, it's not like they planned it, but you just couldn't have asked for anything better. Like you really couldn't have. So, I mean,
except for a Bills win, but
except for a Bills win, that would have been icing on the cake to the weekend, but
but
we'll get into it.
But let's get into it. Bengals Titans. Bengals squeaking one out. The first, walk off of that day. Crazy rookie kicker, 50+ yarder, telling Joe Burrow before it happens, we're going to the AFC Championship game. Talk about just a big set on that guy. Holy cow!
Dude, no kidding, dude. Hey, that's what they tweeted out. That's why you draft a kicker.
Yeah.
I mean, like that also goes to show you, like, when you're in the playoffs, those first 3 games and even the final game for them to kind of set themselves up to get to overtime, you need a kicker in this league if you want to win big ones. You need a kicker.
Hit those big clutch shots,
Straight up, dude.
Like, dude, that's nuts. I'm happy for Cincinnati, happy for Joey B. I still kind of consider this his rookie season because he only played like 5 games last year before Chase Young took him out.
I mean, I know it was against us, but I can't remember if it was Chase that hit him that tore it.
I thought it was. Or like maybe he made the initial hit and someone came in and cleaned up.
Anyways, that Bengals team has got to be feeling good right now. First
for
playoff
sure.
win in 31 years, and then you get another one the week after. If that was me as a fan, I don't even know. I can't even comprehend what my life would be like in that moment. Like, I just can't even think about it. It's just makes me think I would just be going off the wall, like just wild for like just weeks, man. It just, to be in the AFC Championship game like that, or an NFC Championship game after not being there for forever. I don't think they've been to a championship game since that was, but it's been a long time. So.
It's been a very long time. I wanted to say maybe they made one Super Bowl in like either the 80s or 90s, but just like
something
such
like
a
that.
long time, forever, like before our existence, pretty much.
Exactly.
But don't want to spend too much time on recap, I guess, because we got the time limit and everything. But dude, Titans, Ryan Tannehill, they got to move on from him, right?
I would assume so. I think like you've gotten there with him before. I mean, he's a solid quarterback. I think when you look at this league and you look at these players who are in this position, you're like, these are guys who can take over games. These are quarterbacks that can literally just flip a switch and just take over a game when needed. I just don't know if Tannehill is that. Like, I just don't think he's that. He's good. He's better than average. I mean, he's definitely a starter in the league, but I don't think he's a starter that's going to like get you to the promised land. So.
I mean, especially just with that offensive line, and that receiving core, and just the Bengals defense isn't that good. And just, on the opposite side of the coin, your defense, 9 sacks on Joe Burrow gave you so many opportunities and you still end up throwing 3 picks. Am I crazy to think that if we were to switch quarterbacks out, like a Kirk Cousins would have won that game? A Derek Carr?
I don't know about Kirk. I could see Jimmy. I could see Derek. Kirk, I feel like Kirk could do the same thing and screw it up in a tight moment. Like, I feel like Kirk would do something similar. Maybe that's just biased experience, but I just feel like he would do the same thing. He's got a drive to set him up for a win, and then he just throws an unnecessary interception. So he threw that ball into like triple coverage. It was not a good throw on his part.
No, not at all, dude. It was dumb. It's just to me, it's just like, but that's what I'm saying is like, I feel this team just literally needed like a hair more better of like quarterback play. And then we're talking about Titans are in the big game. They're going up against the Chiefs. Derrick Henry has another week of hopefully his foot getting better. And now they're at home looking at draft picks, looking at the future, because they are a good team.
They are good. Yeah. They've got pieces in place for sure. So
especially in like not a tough division.
Exactly.
Respectfully.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's crazy. Good for the Bengals. We'll see what happens. We'll preview their game with the Chiefs later on this episode. Let's move it on to the NFC. Dude, crazy game. Niners, right at the end as well. You know what they say? Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. Niners,
maybe special teams.
Maybe special teams. I'll include them in that. Like fantasy.
Defense and special teams, man. Those are sometimes the unsung heroes.
Dude, all 3 phases of football. All 3 phases. Team sport.
Team sport, dude.
So I don't know. What stood out to you in that game? I guess
like. I don't know. And like, it's, I guess I'm kind of mixed feelings because I've obviously I was kind of hoping that the Packers could get there. I like Aaron Rodgers. I think I think he deserves another ring. I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, I'm not going into all the stuff off the field and all like the personality things that people say he has. I'm just talking about as a football player. He is one of the best throwers to ever throw a football. And I'm just like, I enjoy watching him play football. And I felt like it's just unfortunate that people are like, he didn't get it done. I'm like, he was 20 for 29, 225 yards. I mean, like, it wasn't like he did anything terrible, but it was just, we also forget, I think too, that this San Francisco team is 2 years removed from a Super Bowl and they have a pretty stout defense. Like, they really do have a good defense.
Well coached.
Good coach. Bosa being back was a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Like, which we had talked about the week before. Like we were just, if he didn't play, that would have been huge for them. But
yeah.
I don't know. Now you're sitting there and really thinking like, well, there it is again. You have 13 wins. You're so close. Now what do you do? It's like there's something that's just not working. You obviously have to change something. And I think he's going to play next year because I guess this is a perfect – Tom Brady's gone.
Tim Brody, gone. I mean, especially because like Tim switched into the NFC, I mean, just a little bit easier, right?
I would think. I mean, do you stay if you stay? Do you go somewhere else and try to get done in the NFC? It's like I feel like the NFC is kind of more wide open. I would be scared to go to the AFC with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joey B. I'd be scared to go over there.
Justin Herbert, Lamar, even in certain circumstances.
Absolutely, like team guys that are still young. So I'm just trying to figure out what he's going to do this offseason. I think it sucks for him, and it's good for Niners, but it sucks for him. And I don't know what to say. I mean, they had you felt like they were going to win that game, and then a special teams, Packers have been dealing with special teams issues all year, and I think it's something that we don't talk about enough because it's not nobody really cares about special teams for the most part, but it is a big deal, and that won them the game. So,
I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, what was it? A blocked punt and a blocked field goal, same game.
Yeah.
Nuts. Absolutely insane. You love that stuff. I mean, and that's not a game. If you're the Niners, you're juiced off that. You're like, wow, like we just really just snuck one on you. Like,
Absolutely.
Like, and that's just, you just love that because that makes Jimmy G's job easier. Like, he doesn't have to have a great game. He's not throwing the ball 35, times a game, trying to, put the team on his back. It's just very much like, smooth sailing. We're just playing good team football, and we think that's enough to win the day. And dude, I agree with you. I feel bad for A-Rod too, but some of his decisions down that stretch. I mean, that last throw he had Devontae in like double coverage, and there's other people open. I know he complains about not having weapons and stuff, but it's like, wow, there's some times where I feel like if one guy has a bad drop or just a bad misread, he's like, I'm not throwing it away the rest of the game. There's a little touch of arrogance on it, and like I do understand it because he is good. He is right now, I mean, a top 5 quarterback in this league. I mean, probably moving up a little now that Tom Brady apparently is retiring, allegedly. I'll believe it when I see it,
Yeah,
but,
I mean, he could end up coming back, but reports have said that he is retiring. So
yeah, which I get it. I mean, we'll get into that maybe before we get into the conference championship round or whatever. But I don't know. If I'm Tom, I could see him like, just jump to another team if you really want one more ring. Because I think he was trying to tie Jordan, and Jordan had 7 rings, right? Or was it more than that?
I thought Jordan had 6.
Oh, no, I think he beat him. So he's already done.
I thought Jordan had 6, and I think Kobe had 5.
So well. He's played so well.
I know. It's obviously like, and no offense to Big Ben, but it's not like he's like kind of like lost it a little bit.
No,
it's just like you don't notice a decline in his game, which Big Ben has been great for a long time. In the past couple of years, he's slowly kind of, and it's great that he had his run.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady's, he's almost doing this. So it's just like
3 more tutties than his age,
I know. It's crazy. So
I don't know. Potential MVP.
He might be back. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to snag the MVP this year, dude. I think he's getting back to back.
That's just crazy to me. And but I mean, I don't understand all the behind the scenes stuff that goes into it. I mean, breaking off on another tangent, when you mentioned about his opportunities, I feel his most, and we're not going to get into it because this isn't a politics podcast, but obviously his thoughts and like stuff he's expressed in the media, in the public spotlight, has brought some unwanted attention to him, or just not positive attention. And it's just like last year we were talking about like, oh, this guy could go and host Jeopardy. He's bigger than football, and now I think given those stuff and like today's current political climate, I think that opportunity's dried up right in front of him, and now it's like, well, it's either football or retire, or, on a beach house somewhere,
Yeah.
But good for the Niners. I'm excited for them. Really just shows how good of a coaching and organization it is, and how, something that's all you really need is just good team football,
Yeah. It's a team game, baby.
It is.
Takes 53.
That's right. Keeping in the NFC, dude, just an absolute barn burner of a game. Personally, I thought it was over at half. Like, I was working that day, and I was like, oh man, Rams got this big. Bucks got nothing. Like, Brady finally showing his age. But Rams 30, Bucks 27. Rams ending Tom Brady's career Yeah, what was going through your mind when you saw that comeback?
I mean, I believe we both picked the Rams. So I
Yeah.
was like, once they got up big, I'm like, here we go, and it's like they did the same thing against the Niners and ended up folding. It's just like they were up big on the Niners, a couple weeks ago, and then folded a 17-point lead. And same thing. It's just like it worries me a little bit moving forward. Is like if they get up to a lead, are they going to be able to hold it? It seems like you can't give Brady opportunities. That's no. we saw that in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. You can't give him opportunities no matter how big you're up. He found a way to sneak back, and then all I can say is Cooper Kupp. I mean,
dude, what
Cooper
Kupp,
just two giant plays for them, basically like setting themselves up for that field goal. It was so crazy that he was that wide open and blew by. I mean, that was single coverage against the best receiver in football this year.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
They brought the house, and Stafford and Kupp made them pay for it. Super awesome game, and I'm glad.
For sure.
I mean, I'm also like, I like Matthew Stafford too. Like, that's a guy that I don't hate. I don't see how you cannot like him. So I think it's good for him to be in this situation. He was 0-3 in the playoffs prior to this year. Now he's 2-0 with the Rams. It's setting up for a big one. It's kind of awesome. So,
yeah, dude. I'm excited for Matt Stafford. I don't know if anyone else is or you have seen this video. It was like a Lions fan, like some guy's like girlfriend, is like, he's a Lions fan, but he's also a Matt Stafford. Like he would die for Matt Stafford, and the guy's yelling as like Stafford clocks the ball, the game-winning field goal. And
I thought you were talking about that 4-minute clip of him as a Lions fan. You seen that raw footage of him?
Oh, dude.
I mean, that raw footage of him as a Lions playing against the Browns his rookie year. That was like.
Dude, like, he messed up his thumb or something, or his shoulder, like non-throwing shoulder, and he's like, yo, F that. No, I'm playing. If you need me to throw it, I can throw one. Like, and then just throws an absolute strike. Yeah, no, it's been a long time coming for Matt Stafford. I hope he does it. I hope Aaron Donald gets another ring because I love watching that guy. I mean,
I don't think he has a ring yet.
No, he does. Oh yeah, you're right. I got mixed up with Von Miller. I want Von Miller.
Yeah.
Dude, quick side note. I saw some of that Eric Weddle, fresh off his couch, played, I think, 41 out of 60 defensive snaps.
Wow. I did not see that, but
isn't that nuts?
That's
makes
more
you wonder
than I
what
thought.
This guy's doing in his free time. Like, what kind of Peloton workouts was that guy doing in retirement? To just
I don't know,
get the call and be like, yeah, I can play 3/4 of the defensive snaps, no problem. Yeah, no issue.
against Brady and Brady and having to like backtrack Mike Evans on the backside. So I mean, he was running, especially when they're down, when they're down, and it's going to turn into a passing affair. So
yeah. So let's get into the curse that the only Bucs fan we really know has brought on to this team. Huge Bucs guy, long-term Bucs guy, really. What would you say, a lifer, pretty much?
Lifer
for him and for Buccaneers and Tim Brody. Dude, where does this team go forward? Just to like take a quick tangent, I mean, let's assume because here's what I am under the assumption of: Tom Brady gone. So that means like Gronk's probably gone too. So there's like one of your top two targets.
Yep.
Because AB's done.
Chris
Godwin's coming off.
He's a free agent.
That'd be huge. I love Chris Godwin. That's a guy. If you ever watched the Hard Knocks from a few years ago, just a real class act, like real hard worker. Love that guy. Penn State alum. Gotta love that. I think he married the coach's daughter. I could be wrong. Just a little fun fact. But anyway, and I saw something that they lost their offensive coordinator, right? He's the top target for the Jags head coaching position.
Yep, Byron Leftwich. Yep.
And I saw something that Bruce Arians is not interested in coaching if he has to call offensive plays, and Byron Leftwich called all the plays. So you could potentially be out a head coach as well. So just a total rebuild.
A potential rebuild over there. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just like, this league will come at you fast. It's just like, you can have one year of greatness, and then the next year it's like, what happened? I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they got that, I think it was Kyle Trask out of Florida from last year. They drafted him in the second round. Yeah. They've got Blaine Gabbert, who, back up in this league for a long time now. Longer than I can remember, actually. But I don't know where they go. Like, I don't think the future of the Bucs are on that roster right now. So it's like, we haven't seen enough of Trask. So I'd be interested to see that, but I don't know what they do. Maybe if a lot of these pieces still stay there, because they did sign Vita Vea, they still have a lot of defensive pieces.
Yep. They got that one linebacker at LSU. He's real good.
Yep.
Good
If they
left
keep all
tackle.
those guys in place, then maybe they do go after and trade for a guy or try to get a guy to come to a roster that basically said, hey, Brady came in here and filled in pretty well.
Yep.
Granted, it was Brady, but another quarterback could do the same thing if you're a Wilson or if you're a just other guys like that out there that may be on the move. So potential free agents could, that is a spot you'd say, hey, this is a good spot to go to, especially when you look at the rest of those teams in the division too, where they're all kind of in question marks. So
yeah, I mean, for the viewers and listeners at home, I mean, you and me have talked about this, and I was all in on with the recent Saints, retiring of Sean Payton and questions at quarterback and being way over the cap. I was like, if Tom Brady stays, I think Saints don't win 7 games. I'll bet their team total under if it's around there, like right now, book it. But now that Tom has retired and there's potentially all these coaching changes and other player changes, that division is just crazy to me. I'm like, I guess it runs through Matt Ryan now until I'm
proven otherwise. It's a question mark. Yeah,
that's a weird thing to say out loud.
Yeah. Well, and you say it's weird, but at the same time, it's like it's not as weird because and it's easy to not like dwell on the past too much, but like that team was really good at one point. And I know that they had Kyle Shanahan in that as the offensive coordinator over there. They had Dan Quinn over there who's doing really well as a defensive coordinator. Now it's like they had a good team. Granted, it was again Julio Jones was over there too, but like Matt Ryan, that was an MVP year for him. He's still a solid quarterback. Like I'll be honest, like I would take Matt Ryan over anybody that we have on our current roster. So it's like
I think he'd be good for y'all. Honestly, that's a guy that I don't think about enough that we haven't talked about when we've talked about potential free agents, veteran free agents coming over to Washington this season.
Yeah.
So
we'll have a whole episode. We'll have a Parsley Bites special on that.
Oh, yes, sir. That's just going to take too much time, more time than we got today. But last thing I'm going to say in reference to the Bucs and potential rebuild, it's just always an interesting thing when we talk about, I think, like Florida and Texas teams, because those two states do not have income tax. So when you're a guy making millions of dollars, I think that is a factor when you go to play for one of the 3 Florida teams, one of the 2 Texas teams. You're like, my money's going to go a little farther here. Uncle Sammy ain't taking as big a cut as if I play in California, New York, even Virginia, whatever, Boston.
That's a good point.
Money moves, man. Money moves. I mean, I'm trying to think someone. I mean, J.J. Watt went for a money move.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. But anyway, moving on. Oh, this is my game of the week, or it was my game of the week, game of the season. Bills Chiefs in an instant classic, 36-42 in overtime. I'm not going to lie. It was crazy for the folks at home. I was on the West Coast for work, so I watched it in a bar in San Diego. Let me tell you, everyone was pulling for those Bills, those blue-collar Bills. And I came up in my jersey and my hat, and the owner of the bar was like, whoa, here comes Bills Mafia, and it was cool. I had everyone hype me up after big plays, and it was just it was back and forth. It was like an all-time great fight. Like, I don't know, Muhammad Ali and like Joe Frazier or whatever, just body punches left and right. It was just all about who got the last one in, and Chiefs got the last one, unfortunately, and in part to an outdated overtime rule, in my opinion. But I don't know. I took it on the chin because I just saw how good they played, and just, I was left at the end of it being like, wow, like objectively, I think this is the best game of football I have ever seen. Like I think everyone was literally on the edge of their seat the entire second quarter or like second half of that game until overtime at the end. And quick side note, there was a Washington fan at the bar who was absolutely gone. He was blitzed. I tried talking to him about the game, about the Washington season at halftime. Like, oh, I saw the Seattle game. Like, it was pretty good. Are you from there? And he was just, this guy was too drunk to talk to me. Just sitting there. And bro, sure enough, like when Josh threw that last strike to Gabe Davis, which by the way, what a game by him. If you would have, I wonder what the odds were on him scoring 4 tutters, or 200
They didn't have
yards.
Odds. You didn't have odds on it. There was no odds. The only odds you could do were 3 tutters, and that was plus 10,000. So yeah, you made some money if you decided to bet on that. Let's just say.
Did you see the guy who bet the money line on what was it? Chiefs winning with 13 seconds?
I did, and that was
nuts.
A ballsy move. And I mean, shoot,
who else though?
I don't know if I would have ever done it. I'm gonna tell you something. I would never do it
Mhm.
after, previously, but after watching today, like 13 seconds, a couple timeouts. I know you don't like to hear it, but it was probably one of the most. At what point is there not enough time? Like, could he have done it with 7 seconds? Like, I don't know. Could he have done it in one play and set themselves up with a second left? It's like, you're almost like, how do you do that with 13 seconds? It doesn't make sense to me. I still can't
taking what the
comprehend
defense gives you, and then when you have such X factors like elite athletes at the wide receiver and tight end position who just get you so many yards after the catch. Like, I don't know if you saw a stat, but like the Bills had the lowest yards after the catch this season. So that's something we have to improve on. It's just guys who take Josh Allen's already freakishly good throws and make them even better by getting 10 to 20 yards after that reception. But yeah, finishing that quick story about that Washington fan, bro, I'm freaking out after we score that last tutter to go up, up by 3 with 13 seconds. And like, I'm like visibly, I'm just like hands to my mouth. I'm rocking in the bar seat, and this guy's like tapping me on the shoulder after like fist bumping me after good play, He was like, what are you so worried about, man? There's like 13 seconds. Like, they got score. There's no way this is in the bag. Like, and I was like, yeah, like, sure.
You would think. I thought
dude.
it. I think most people thought it, dude.
I mean, I personally was so nervous just seeing how back and forth it was going. I was like, I am not going to celebrate until this clock hits zero.
No, I respect that, and I completely agree.
You can't discredit your opponent, especially one as good as the Kansas City Chiefs like that. So Washington fan jinxed me. So that's making me have some different feelings.
What a douche.
Dude. I wish it wasn't the team that I kind of sort of liked, or whatever, or have friendship ties to. But so screw that guy. Real sorry.
Screw that guy.
But I woke up the next morning feeling a little sadder than immediately after. I was like, damn, that really was it, But I know we're going to be back. Josh Allen was just an absolute stud, had an absolute hell of a day, and I know we just have the pieces to come back. We're not going anywhere for a while. Hopefully, just Josh Allen staying healthy. Knock on wood, God willing. But I don't know. Any last thoughts on that game, Holden?
Just one of the best, and you're hoping that's kind of the passing the torch of maybe seeing some great playoff matchups from like the Brady Peyton era. Maybe some younger folks who don't really know much about football yet, and they see a game like that, they're like, okay, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, these two guys are going to be fighting in this spot for a long time.
Yep.
Like, kind of maybe potential future two greats just going at it back and forth. So I'm excited for it, and it's fun that it's also like not in my division, so I don't really have to. It's just, or not in my conference. Like, I ain't got to worry about those guys very much. So I'm happy about that as well.
Yeah. No, that's how I feel, and that's why I'm like, I don't know. It's like when we talk about Aaron Rodgers potentially leaving in free agency, I know two names or two teams he's been like linked to, or so would be a good fit is like Pittsburgh. I want to say like maybe the Raiders because Devontae Adams would maybe go there, and Denver. And I'm like, those are all AFC teams. And you're gonna have to play these two young guys again. No, like,
I think the NFC is just more open for that ring if he wants to go there. So come to DC, bro. Come to DC. Devontae Adams.
Think about it.
Terry McLaurin. We'll have Scantling as a third. You can use Curtis Samuel as our little scat back out the backfield with Antonio Gibson. And we'll just we'll get this thing going in DC where
get it going, dude.
We got a new name, new brand. It's gonna be awesome.
Think about it. I mean, after practice, he can go down to the old Lincoln Memorial for the anti-vax mandate march, and he can go protest right after practice. I mean, it's a win-win for him.
There you go.
So, yeah. But I guess last thing I'll talk about with the Bills, I've been talking about them a lot. But I don't know if you saw, our offensive coordinator, Brian Dable, got named head coach of the New York Giants. And also our assistant GM is now Giants' current GM. I'm not going to lie, Holden, I'm a little worried for your boys. I mean, know it's still Daniel Jones. I'm a little worried.
Until I see offensive coordinator, all offensive coordinators can be great. Defensive coordinators can be great. But when they get that head coaching role, sometimes things change. And
I agree.
Anytime a team does well, there's going to be hype around the offensive and defensive coordinator. But until I see it, granted, I would have loved to keep Joe Judge. But until I see it, I'm not going to get too worried yet. I still believe in Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio, and Scott Turner. So
I agree. I mean, they have an uphill battle. They have a Saquon Barkley who isn't looking like I don't know, the guy he was before the injury. They have a quarterback who is very inconsistent, and just an entire team that cannot stay healthy, it seems, and a defense that honestly is much left desired. So,
Yep.
but it's just crazy being on the other foot of like, I remember when we were hiring like people's offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators to be our head coach and stuff, and now we've established this like base or this like this program of where like, oh, people now want our people that came up through us, and I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Like,
yeah, it's different. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see who we get in free agency. Hopefully we were able to retain some people that were really good this year, because we have some guys on contract too. That's the NFL. It's a constant cycle. It's tough to keep teams together. But enough recap. There's something we wanted to talk about between recap and preview, wasn't there? I can't remember.
Oh no, but let's get into these games.
Yeah, let's get into these games, bud.
I'm getting cold.
No, you're not, dude.
Yes.
You never get cold. You're wearing shorts right now. Oh, dude, I knew it, dude. Oh, all right. For people who don't know Holden, this man never wears pants in winter. You see him wearing pants, it's got to be a formal event or something. He does not casually hang out in pants.
That is true.
It is.
I got hairy legs. I don't know. People look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm really not outside that long, unless I'm going to exercise. But in which case, I'm running and getting hot. So
yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Well, Holden, we only got 2 games. So, and best bet. So let's go ahead and get into it. Bengals Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 7 in Arrowhead. What's going to happen? Chiefs going to roll? Bengals going to put up a fight? What's the deal?
This team played first week of January, 34-31. Bengals got the better of them. Think it's going to be close. Think the Chiefs are going to win. I'd like to see the Bengals, it would be awesome to see the Bengals in there, because I think it just goes to show you, and I think they have proven, you can be the worst team in the league, have the number 1 draft pick, and then be in the AFC Championship game in a 2-year span. It can be a quick flip for franchises.
Yeah,
but I think the Chiefs.
I think the
Chiefs just are too situationally. They've been there too many times as of recent, and I think last week it just shows you like, hey, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how far back you are against the wall, they can find a way. I think the Bengals will cover the 7 though. I think that's a close. I think it's going to be a close game. I think these games are going to be close, man. I just do. I think Joey B has an opportunity to still put up serious. I think it's going to be a passing battle. This game, I think look for both quarterbacks to have like a lot of yards through the air. I think that's what it's going to come down to. So,
dude, I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's just definitely. It's going to be a passing game. I think it's going to be an offensive game. Part of me almost likes that so much. I want to fade that and be like, nothing's going to hit. It's going to be ground and pound. But no, I'm a little different than you. I hate to say it. I think Chiefs roll. I think the game that we saw last week between Buffalo and Kansas City was the game of the Super Bowl champions. I think when people said like that should have been the Super Bowl, I agree. And I think that was the game to see who wins it all. I think nothing is going to stop Kansas City. If Buffalo won that game, nothing is going to stop them. I think they roll. I think Bengals are good. I know they got the edge of them a few weeks ago, but I think that was in Cincinnati. I think there is something for home field advantage in Kansas City. And I also think that this Kansas City team is playing their best ball. So I'm going to take them to cover. I don't know why.
It's not. I honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. It just seems like sometimes 7 is just. That's
it's a lot for a playoff game, right?
It's not to say that they couldn't win by 14. It could definitely happen. I just feel like the Bengals definitely got a little fight in them. Joey B's got some fight, so I think it could be close. But
I would love to be surprised.
Could also see it just being a straight push. That 7 is like. I'll tell you what. If there was a hook, I'd like it more with the hook. To be honest,
same.
But did it go? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Low battery. Sorry, low battery.
Oh shit. Okay, then we definitely gotta. Yeah,
we're good.
Charge your
damn
phone.
I know.
Yeah, man. No, I'm definitely. I don't know. I automatically almost want to take the over. The over hit last week between.
What's the over set at?
54.5 according to Espen.
54.5. That's about what it was for the Bills game too. So, and it was kind of scaring me for a little while, and then it picked up. Those last 2 minutes were crucial to it, but.
Yep.
Yeah, Chiefs are going to win this game and be back in the Super Bowl for the 3rd year in a row, I think.
That's crazy. We're potentially seeing another,
another dynasty, dude.
Another dynasty as one of those key dynasty members in Tom Brady, rides off into the sunset metaphorically. Another face and team and coach are rising up, claim their time to shine. But so that's it for that game. Don't really have much there. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's also a thing because what was it? Didn't who was it? Tyrann Mathieu? I think he was injured in the Bills game with a potential head injury. So
I think so. Yes.
I think that's crucial for their secondary. I think if Chiefs are able to get the type of pressure that the Titans did on Joey B, I think Bengals don't get lucky twice. I think Chiefs are just so potent on offense. If they cannot keep up scoring, then they're just going to pull away. I think that's the game.
Yeah.
Just first team to miss up that's it. But let's move on to the NFC championship. NFC West, man, best division in NFC.
Oh yeah.
That's
it's
crazy.
Gonna be a fun one. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Crazy conference championship games, divisional conference championship games are insane.
Yeah,
I could never imagine having to play.
Imagine playing Dallas.
Couldn't imagine it. Like it's happened. I mean, I think it's actually happened before. It was before my time.
Yeah.
On this wonderful earth, but I couldn't imagine it. It would be like the most heartbreaking way. I mean, it would be the best and the worst way to win or lose a game. Like I couldn't imagine it.
Dude, completely agree. Like the only thing I can equate it to as a Bills fan is when we absolutely trounced the Pats, 2 weeks ago. And if that was in like somehow the AFC Championship game, it's just like that loss just stings a little bit more, and that win is just a little more sweeter. Like, you talk about just some extra bragging rights for just more on the line for almost a whole calendar year, That being said, I'm taking the Rams. Rams are favored 3.5. I like them to lay those points too. I know this is crazy, me taking two favorites. Who knew? When really, I think last week was the week of the dogs. But
pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Niners are so well coached, good defense, and what I was going to say earlier about them is like there's this new mantra or like idea in the NFL. I think it's you rush four, and if you can get pressure with four rushers and there's just so many people in coverage, I think that's how you win. I think that's the trend. And Niners definitely have that defensive line where they can do that. But I think the Rams defense is equally as good. I think the coaching is equally as good. Two coaches, both from the Washington football tree. Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it's just Rams got the better quarterback, and I think that's what it's going to come down to, straight up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Rams are going to win. I think we're going to see Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl. I think this Rams team is also only a few years removed from a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Yep. So I mean, a lot of that team is there. They've gone all in this year for this reason. Mm-hmm. I look for Odell to have another big game. He's really shining in these playoffs.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Cooper Kupp's obviously just Cooper Kupp.
Yeah,
I think they've got they're healthy right now for the most part, and I think they said I saw some stats. I saw Jimmy G is 6-0 versus the Rams. They swept the Rams this year.
That is true.
Jimmy Garoppolo has I don't know who Jimmy Jones is, but I want him for Washington. Jimmy Garoppolo has not lost to them, and also. I want to say, I just think it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. It's one thing to sweep it, but it's another thing to have to play them a third time. And it's just like, I think there's so much motivation for this Rams team. Not to say that there's not for another team, but for the 49ers, but I just think they're going all in. I think it's going to pay off. I think all the moves they've made in the offseason to kind of say, hey, we're going for Stafford. We're getting rid of Goff. Bring in Odell, bring in Vaughn, bring in Eric Weddle. Like we're going, and like I feel like that's kind of it's working, and I think it's going to work this weekend again. So I'm with you. I think the 3.5. I think I like that too. I think they win by a tutter. I think this is going to be a touchdown game.
Absolutely.
So,
dude, I'm 100% with you. I definitely think it's a touchdown game. They're just more potent on offense. I feel like. And there's no disrespect for the Niners, but I feel they're almost like this ragtag put-together team. I know they're a few years removed from their Super Bowl run, but like, name another wide receiver on that team that's not named Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I mean, there's that Ayuk kid, but he's not very. I mean, nobody really knows him that well, and
no, and like they don't have. I mean, they've always had a stable of backs. Like anyone can just. The Shanahan offense is that good that you can pretty much take anyone in there and they're going to be pretty good, right?
Yep.
And Trent Williams is a hell of a lead blocker.
What a beast, dude. I miss him.
Oh, I love
Screw
that.
you, Bruce Allen. Screw you, Bruce Allen and Dan Snyder for ruining that.
Yep. I'd love to see him get a ring. I'll root for Trent Williams if that's the case,
I like that too.
Yeah, but I just think there's no star quarterback. It's just, and like maybe I'm totally wrong, but I'm going Rams there. But
I'm going Rams too.
damn. All right. Well, I think that's all we got to
Rams
say
Chiefs.
about that.
Rams Chiefs Super Bowl. We're both on it.
That sounds good. That just sounds good to me.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think it's going to
agree.
be a fun game.
I agree.
A lot of weapons.
Yeah.
Good defense, solid defense on the other, like really good defense on the Rams side. I think it could be a fun game. So
yeah, no, I'm excited, especially because they're playing in LA, right? The Super Bowl.
They are. Yes.
To win the big one at home. Oh,
back-to-back years could have happened. Back-to-back years hadn't happened in the history of the NFL, and then it could have happened in back-to-back years. That would be kind of wild.
That would be absolutely insane. I would love to see it. I'm about it. It's a great time to be a football fan. Love that for sure. Well, let's get into best bets, Holden. Not going to have much. Short episode.
Not much.
Week. You got any bets? I got to pull mine up for the old DraftKings.
I'm gonna do 4 bets, and I'm not going super heavy because this is when things get a little. You don't want to invest too much because it's really hard on these NFL lines to win.
Yep, 100%.
But I'm gonna take the Bengals plus the 7. I'm gonna take the Rams at the -3.5 because I mean, really those are your bets. I'll take Odell. I think he said it 53.5 when I got it. Already put it in. 53.5. I'll take the over. I think he definitely hits that. I mean, I think one play he could hit that. He's looking for one bomb in that game. And then I'm also going to take a flyer on Patrick Mahomes anytime touchdown score.
You think he's going to run one?
I think he's going to run one in. I think he had – I don't know if he had one last – I think he did have one last week, but he had like 70 yards on the ground last week.
Yeah, he was scooting out there for sure.
He was scooting. I think he's going to scoot again this week, and I think he's going to run one in. That's just what I feel. That's just hunches. You know, those are just little hunches.
I love that.
While you finish up your bets, I'm gonna start jogging home.
Yeah, dude, get that heart rate up. You know, come on, you got stuff to do. All right, Holden. Hopefully you can hear me, but it doesn't matter. The viewers can. You listen to this later.
I can hear you.
Yeah, dude, nice. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take Chiefs spread. I'm gonna take them in later points. I'm gonna take the Rams to lay the points as well. I'm taking the favorites. I just will. But here are my cannot lose NFL playoff parlays. For Cincy and KC, I have over 44.5. This is on DraftKings, so this is all alternates. There is a special going on. Shout out DraftKings. Do a parlay, they'll reimburse you up to $25. So make a nice, easy, favorable parlay and double your money. So I got over 44.5 total points. Over 49.5 Pat Mahomes passing yards. Over 249.5 Joe Burrow passing yards. And I'm going to take the Chiefs over 1.5 total touchdowns.
I love that, by the way.
And that's at plus money. I think I got it at plus 105. That seems so. I feel I could reach out and grab it right out of thin air right now.
I do love the Joey B over.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna have to throw.
I love Joe Mixon, but they're gonna have to throw. I mean, because this Chiefs team can score anytime, anywhere, 13 seconds or less guaranteed.
Yep, straight up.
And then I have another can't lose parlay for the other team. This is only a 3-legger. So, and I got it at plus 140. I got Jimmy G over 169.5 passing yards.
Okay.
Matty Stafford over 229.5 passing yards. And Deebo Samuel over 34.5 rushing. I got that at plus 140.
Okay.
So that's what I got. Those are the best bets for divisional and for the Super Bowl, which I can't wait for all those specials. I can't wait for all your specials. But I guess one last quick thing. Holden, have you ever used Caesars Sportsbook?
I have. I used it briefly for some promos, and then I dipped out.
Let me tell you something. I am stuck with them somehow. It is the worst book I've run into so far. Absolutely awful. Not a fan. Terrible.
Well,
not good.
Move back to the Virginia borders and get yourself FanDuel, DraftKings, all the good guys.
Oh, for sure. No, big DraftKings guy, big FanDuel guy. But anyway, so you got our picks, you got the recap, you got our best bets. So win yourself some free money, take advantage of all the promos, be a smart bettor. And we'll see you next week maybe in a few weeks for the big game, the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Damn, I'm excited. I know you are.
Can't wait, baby. It's the greatest. It's the greatest thing in the world, baby.
It is true. It is
It'd
true.
Be even better if your team was in it, but still the greatest thing in the world. So
gotta soak up every last second of football before we go through the drought, the dark days.
Exactly.
Suck the marrow out of it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. We'll be Minority Bets. My name's Sean. Bills by a billion.
My name's Holden. I love you, Washington. Whatever you do, don't break my heart. But if you do, I'll still love you.
Ain't that the truth? Bye.